The best thing for me about being a lesbian is total erotic satisfaction and endless possibilities.
I'd known Siddharth Gautam for a while. He was one of the founding members of the AIDS Bhedbhav Virodhi Andolan, and we'd done odd bits of work together on other issues. And he was back in Delhi practicing law. That little book actually is probably one of the first such publications that came out in India, and it was really a fantastic study of the gay rights issue in India and putting it in the perspective of rights and also in a historical constitutional perspective.
When the film came out, it was passed by the Indian censors without one cut, which was stunning and very far-thinking. And then it went into the theatres. It ran in the movie theatres in India for a week. And overnight, the Shiv Sena, which is a political party from Bombay, started trashing movie halls and saying that the film and what it portrayed was against Bharatiya Sanskriti, against the Indian culture. And, you know, overnight, wherever it was playing, it started getting trashed. And the cry was that there are no lesbians in India. And this is, you know, a thing of the evil West. It was playing at Regal here in Connaught Place, and that night there was a vigil with candlelight. That was the first night that the movie was trashed. And as far as the eye could see, there were women with placards and young men. And the placards all said, "We are Indians and we are lesbians." And it was like, you know, holy shit, this is cool.
There's been such a huge change from the time when we first filed in 2001.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. The NAS Foundation.
The NAS Foundation filed in 2001. At that time, it was explicitly told that no one was willing to stick their neck out. And because we were an HIV/AIDS service organization, we could do it, which we did.
2005 में वॉइसेस अगेंस्ट 377 नाम के एक संगठन के साथ हमने भी याचिका दायर की थी दिल्ली उच्च न्यायालय में, हाई कोर्ट में। जो शाह और मुरलीधर जस्टिस की जजमेंट थी उसमें हम शामिल थे।
We got an amazing judgment from the Delhi High Court, and the judges basically said that what matters is not the public morality but constitutional morality.
आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट का बेहद महत्वपूर्ण फैसला आया जिसमें कहा गया कि हिंदुस्तान में अगर आप गे हैं तो ये गुनाह है।
किसी भी दुष्ट प्रवृत्ति को समाज में मान्यता नहीं दी जानी चाहिए।
होने नहीं दूंगी ऐसा तो।
बहुत ज्यादा बुरे असर, ये हमारी सोसाइटी की गलती है, इसको नहीं एक्सेप्ट करना चाहिए।
असंभव है, ये कैसे होगा?
डॉक्टर पर ले जाएंगे, उसको दिखाएंगे, उसको समझाएंगे, अगर नहीं समझता है तो आउट करेंगे।
रोक भी लगाई जाएगी और उसको खत्म भी किया जाएगा।
First of all, we are humans just like everyone else.
This is an obsolete laws of Middle Ages.
There are various sensitivities which have to be taken in view.
वो जो चाहे वो कर सकता है।
Section 377 को हटा दें।
Those in favor में से आए, those against में से no.
And so you had a situation where something which was outside the criminal pale now returned to the area of criminal conduct, and naturally people were very, very upset with that. They were criminals in the eye of law, even if they were not being prosecuted.
What we realized being part of the movement is that there are not many organizations focusing on female assigned at birth people, lesbian, bisexual women, trans masculine people, and female assigned at birth, genderqueer people, trans men.
There doesn't seem to be much to be done to demolish it anymore. It's a formality, in my opinion, to get rid of that judgment.
समलैंगिकता पर बहुत बड़ी खबर सीधे सुप्रीम कोर्ट से आ रही है। आपको बता दें, समलैंगिकता अपराध नहीं है।
বৃহস্পতিবার ঐতিহাসিক রায় সুপ্রিম কোর্ট জানিয়ে দিল সমকামিতা অপরাধ নয়।
സ്വവർഗരതിയിൽ ചരിത്ര വിധിയാണ് വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത്. പരസ്പര സമ്മതത്തോടെയുള്ള സ്വവർഗരതി ക്രിമിനൽ കുറ്റമല്ല. സ്വവർഗരതി ക്രിമിനൽ കുറ്റമാക്കുന്ന IPC 327 വകുപ്പ് റദ്ദാക്കി. വ്യക്തിത്വത്തിൽ നിന്ന് ആർക്കും ഒളിച്ചോടാനാകില്ലെന്നാണ്.
വെൽക്കം ദി സുപ്രീം കോർട്ട് ജഡ്ജ്മെന്റ് ഡീക്രിമിനലൈസിംഗ് consensual gay sex.
सोशल एक्सेप्टेंस मिला, यही हम लोग को सबसे बड़ी बात है। इतना खुश है कि हम किसी के सामने बयान क्या कर सकते हैं।
आज का ये दिन है कि हाँ, हम भी एक आम नागरिकों की तरह जी सकते हैं।
आज हमें एक्चुअली आजादी मिली जहाँ पे हम भी हैं। हम लोग को मालूम है हम लोग ने कितना मेहनत किया है सेंसिटाइज करने के लिए।
The Supreme Court has upheld the values of equality, which should apply to all communities in our country, of dignity and of privacy.
One of the amazing achievements of this battle has been the LGBTQ activism, because here, in fact, the activism over the last 20 years has been so incredibly successful that when in 2013 the Supreme Court actually overturned or set aside the High Court judgment,
yes,
people on the streets were criticizing it.
Right.
So a public opinion, a sizable public opinion, in fact the irony is that it is not LGBTQ people who are in a minuscule minority. I would say the dissenters to this are a minuscule minority.